When my wife and children are in the car, they listen to other songs, but I myself prefer Lori songs more. Am I driving badly, huh? When my friends ask if I am content with this car, I answer, yes, I am, but the car is not. I really understand it round these turns. This is the main entrance of the university. Of course, it hasn't any facade yet, but they are going to make a good one for it. This is the main entrance to the university.
بعد من دیگه 7-10 کم میام دنبالت. بعد وسایل تنیس اینا رو برام آماده کن که برگشتم ببرم ایسا. قربانت خدا. سلام. خوبی؟
I am Mehrorang Ghaedi. I was born in 1974 in Yasouj, a Pakshan village. It was in 1993 that I so desired to study medicine, but unfortunately I couldn't study it, so I decided to study chemistry instead. When I went and saw the facade of the Isfahan Medical University, I became quite sad. But right then and there, I promised myself to do my best anyway and obtain a high ranking after being accepted into practical chemistry. I have loved chemistry since high school, but I love medicine more.
My ranking from the university entrance examination was 2027, so I wasn't accepted in medicine. And as I loved chemistry most among the other Bachelor of Science fields, because I was really great at chemistry, I continued to study it. In the first stage of the university entrance examination for Masters of Science, my ranking was 13. And in the Student Olympia, my ranking was 8. At the PhD level, I had many comprehensive examinations in which my ranking was very high. I think I actually came first or second. I don't remember exactly. I really loved being in Yasouj or Gachsaran, helping the people of the region because I myself achieved the level I have by bearing many labours and working through difficulties. So I like to share my experiences with the people of the region, and despite many offers from foreign countries, my first love is always to work in my own country. This dissertation is a collective work resulting out of the cooperation of Dr. Hajati, who was a strong companion and really was the power or muscle behind our research group.
Regarding the students that were involved in 2013 in the field of analytical chemistry, which I had an honour to serve,
they were 6 people, each better than the next, scientifically and morally speaking. I now hand over the meeting to Mr. Jamshidi, who will provide you with valuable learning.
ابتدا سنتز نانوذره ZNS تصویر شده برای کربن فعال را داریم که برای اینکه اون رو خشک کنیم 50 دقیقه در دمای 60 درجه اون رو در آون قرار میدیم و جاذب ما برای کار آماده میشه.
My students, especially my PhD students and some of the graduate students, were great. Without their efforts and experience and without their help and support, I could not have achieved the success I have attained from such a deprived university as Yasouj.
از جناب آقای پروفسور قاضی که واقعا من نمیتونم فقط بگم استاد راهنمای بنده بوده، حقیقتا برای من یک دوست، یک بزرگتر و کسی بوده که واقعا روی من چه به لحاظ علمی چه به لحاظ اخلاقی اثر گذاشته و به عنوان یک الگوی اخلاقی برای خودم همیشه او را به یاد دارم.
This region covers territory out to the Yasouj waterfall. Yasouj has 2 waterfalls, in fact, an inner city waterfall, which is a wonderful place, a tourist attraction and school excursion site. The other is Margoon waterfall, which is said by some to be owned by Arda Sepedan region, while others say it is owned by Yasouj. Of course, it's actually near to both of them. Good job, people. Let me see what Kimia has done. Let me see her.
خانم زاره، این کیمیا چطوره؟ روند آموزشش چطوریه؟ راضی هستین شما؟ بسیار عالی. خیلی هم عالی. دست شما در نکنه. خب
دیگه مونده تا میوه رو تمام کنم.
بسیار عالی. بعدش قراره چی میکشین؟
بعدش میرم گلا.
گلا رو؟ آفرین آفرین آفرین. الو.
سلام دکتر.
سلام علیکم و رحمت الله.
خوبی؟ سلامتی؟
قربان شما، تشکر. چه حال چه احوال؟
قربان سلامتی. امامه بعد نیچه نیگم دکتر قاعدی آید آموزش پینگ پونگ.
خب
امامه بهت تمام سطرا کنم دکتر قاعدی آموزش پینگ پونگ گفتم اگر آموزشی میری مانم آموزش بره.
الان داریم میم. قربانت هستم. خداحافظ.
To tell you the truth, Kimia has been a very welcome daughter in my life. She is a gift from God. Whatever I have is because of the luck of having Kimia.
فقط این راکت ها موج دارن.
موج دارن؟ یعنی چه؟
کجم، توپم کج میره.
این تو خودش برای ما تایید کرد. حالا بیا الان باش صحبت میکنم.
I loved football the most, but for a while I stopped doing sports, so I don't have the flexibility needed for football anymore. But now I love tennis and swimming more. First, the energy that I get from doing a sport and also the presence of friends creates extra motivation and energy in me to function the next day.
جایزهایی گرفتم، تعدادشون و نوعشون واقعا تو خاطرم نیست، ولی توی فولدر اینجا ذخیره کردم.
I have won some prizes, but I really don't remember how many or what kind. Of course, I have saved them in a folder here. I should say that my main goal is not to win prizes or grades, but I really need, from the bottom of my heart, to satisfy my own inner desires and to do valuable scientific work according to my own opinions and beliefs. Meanwhile, sometimes some scientists have been recognized by the Ministry of Science, the Nano Council, or the provincial institutes and some universities, recognitions of which I have here with me, and you can see in this folder. I will open some of them for you as a sample.
The year 1997 was the second student Olympia of this country. In its second stage, I ranked 7th. I achieved the rank of 7th in nanotechnology in the country in 2012, and this came after I became the most highly cited researcher in the Ministry of Science in 2009. I was recognised the best researcher having the hottest international article from the ISI Institute. This article is awarded the Fast Breaking Paper. One of the greatest prizes that I've won is this one from the Thomson Reuters Corporation in 2015, earning a place in the top 1% of highly cited scientists in the world. The world of research and investigation, in fact, the world of evaluation of unknowns, the investigation of the amount attaining to a fact is really challenging but enjoyable. Through research, you open the doors that are closed to you. With the help of some graduate students, you want to create this knowledge both for yourself and for your students. Their worlds are so different from one another.
کار با دکتر کریم پورم که انجام دادیم دیگه همش آماده است، فقط صبح کالیبراسیون و اینا هم رسم کنیم که دیگه جواب داد سری نمونه‌اش اندازه‌گیری کنیم و مقاله‌شو بنویسیم.
When I place trust on a student, encourage his personality and respect him, the amount of his productivity and the efficiency of his work rises a lot. I also had recommendations, some of which were tempting at times, but for certain reasons that are personal, and I considered them in my mind. I believe that the case for the individual is not all of it, and since I have been promoted due to my success, I feel I should conserve these costs. Thus, for this reason, I mostly prefer to stay in my own country and stay in the city where I was raised and serve there.
گونه گلاب
بذار من کفش پسرم میکنم.
In the year 2000, when I first arrived at the Yasouj Free University, the first lesson was Analytical Chemistry Lab 1, and it happened that my future wife was a student there. It was destiny, and I fell in love with her, and in 2004 we got married together. Asghar, call me about 4 o'clock or 4:30 so that I can arrange to have a look over the proposal to see if there is any problem with it, and then I can tell you where you need to correct it. Thanks. Goodbye.
He is content with the conditions of working in Yasouj University. If he was not content, yes, I might have recommended some alternatives to him. But because he is completely content with his work, no.
In my childhood, as my parents were farmers, housekeeper and rancher, during the holidays we helped them to do the farm work and animal husbandry. For example, my siblings and I would take the animals to the mountains. We would work through the season of planting, cultivating and harvesting. In spite of being children, we obliged ourselves to help as a real working force.
He is usually tired, physically, mentally and psychologically. And this hurts me more than thinking about how much his work burdens me or the children.
کدوم ساله؟
سال 91.
با هم میان
گفتگو کنن. بیشتر برای گفتگو کردن راجع به مشکلات محبت اینا. خیلی خوب. سقف خانه ها در جاهای پرباران چگونه است؟
شیبدار.
شیبدار. آفرین. آفرین بهتون. بیا اینجا. باید خب این جونه نکن بسرم
کدام یک از قسمت کدام یک از شکل‌های زیر به قسمت‌های مساوی تقسیم شدن و کسر 3/5 رو نشون میدن.
خب
این بابا 5 قسمته. اینم نه. پس تنها این شکلی که این قسمتش مساویه اینه و 3 تا قسمتش رنگ شده، 2 تا قسمتش خالی.
آفرین به تو دختر نازنین. نگاه کن اگر اینم بگیم یه دور رفته بعد از این اومده اینجا. آفرین به تو.
We usually don't have any spare time. During the week, from the beginning to end of the week, we are both busy because we are both working and both of us have outdoor commuting and communications and outdoor work. So there only remains the end of the week. If we need to rest, we stay in Yasouj together. And sometimes in vacation time, we travel to Yasouj or Nurabad, depending on the conditions and season, and things like that.
پسر نازنینم.
I am worried about the future of our children, the children of the new generation. Because they don't bear any pain. It is because of the pain we've endured that we've had to reveal most of our hidden potentialities, and we had to use our abilities more and more and to use them in useful ways. Since 2003, I've started working as a faculty member at the University of Yasouj. I have cooperated with about 160 foreign magazines as an advisor, in some of which I am selected as the senior advisor or consultant. At the Yasouj Institute, I cooperated as a consultant with most of its magazines that are in this category and have something to say.
خاموش نیست. دکتر حالا باقیشو همش بزنی. دیگه بعد بزنی خودش بپره.
امروز صبح در جبل های دکتر کریمپور و کیمیا خانم و
This morning, I have come here with Dr. Karampour and Kimia and our Mita to have a short walk and some morning breathing in the fresh air and fresh weather near Yasouj waterfall. We will then have a breakfast, go back home and then go to work.
بکنیم و برگردیم خونه با انرژی بریم سر کار. شاید یکی از انگیزه‌هایی که ما اون کمبود
Maybe one of the motivations that we neglect is the lack of facilities, and we simply continue our research selflessly. Are the excursion atmosphere and these nice touristic and entertaining facilities given by God, the very high quality water, the various trees, the great medical plants, these are all blessings that can entrap one into themselves.
اینا همه موهبت‌هایی است که واقعاً هر فردی رو میتونه پابند خودش کنه.
I'm happy that God has given me a good family and good friends, and after God and His infinite kindness, I am indebted to the kindness of my family and their altruism and forgiveness, and also the good friends that I've had in my research work.
در جوارتون صبحونه خیلی خوش گذشت بچه‌ها.
در جوار شما خوش.
خواهش می‌کنم. واقعا امکانات برای دانشجویان به ویژه دانشجویان تحصیل.
If the students, especially the graduate students, are provided with the proper facilities, I see good prospects because it would mean the government is really supporting the researchers in their various fields. Regarding all aspects, I foresee the future to be brilliant, especially if we have the ability to develop and nurture relationships with other countries, with other researchers, and thus there will be more research opportunities. I'm very optimistic.
فرصت‌های مطالعاتی بیشتر بشه من خیلی خوشبین هستم.
کلی هیترستیرا خراب برام اومدم بازش کنم ببینم.
خودت بازش کنی؟
اگه سیمی چیزش اشکال داشت وصلش کنم ببینم خوب میشه یا نه. اتفاقا اون دفعه ایده به ذهن خودم رسید، بعدش رفتم به دکتر گفتم، دکتر خوشش اومد. یعنی همون حس کنجکاوی نمیذاره اون کارامو پیش بره.
شاید دانشجویی که ایده داشته باشه شاید مثلا اون موقع مثلا بخوایم آنالیز کنیم، ارزیابی کنیم ببینم این ایده چقدر چیز مثلا عکس‌العملی نشون ندیم. ولی بعد که به یقین میرسیم این کار ارزشمندیه، طرف رو تشویق میکنیم، ترغیبش میکنیم. کدوم این مال میثم دوست؟
نه مال دکتر الهامی فره.
این مال خودمون نیست. نجدی گرفته. کارات بالاخره جواب داد یا نه؟
کارامون ولی خوب پیشرفته، اگه امکانات بیشتری در اختیارمون باشه.
اینا مهمات قابل تقدیره. اینا چی بچه؟ این سیلیکاژل هست.
I believe that the efforts of our state's leaders and scientific leaders have doubled or tripled or even more because of international sanctions. But the sanctions haven't been without benefit at all because of the amount of and availability of our own technologies, the amount of processing of products. Besides that, our self-esteem has increased. The trust on the native workforce has increased. This is there anyway, but the sanctions add a good and bad side to the mix.
خوبی داره بدی هم داره تعلیم.
I really hope to guide students to adopt this cycle of affection and love and respect of others, and that this becomes a way of life for them, to be more and more powerful than I in God's aspects, such as engagement to fellow creatures, to all students, to the other researchers and to their country. I believe for students that morality is important in addition to the research.